What's up, friend? So I've disappeared from the face of the earth for 10 days, and today I'm gonna tell you the tragic story of how I got fucked by life over and over for 10 days straight, literally bent over 90 degrees, no lube. Okay, so it all starts on the morning of Friday the 6th. I get home from work in the morning, and my PC is turned off, which is weird, because I leave it on for video overnight stuff. And I figure out maybe the cats had butted it and turn it off. I don't know, they're pretty stupid. So I try to turn it on, I click on the button, and nothing happens. Literally nothing, it's like clicking on a rock. So okay, that's that's really unfortunate, but hopefully not big deal. I bring it to a computer repair shop, and they tell me the PSU is dead. I've heard horror stories of the power supply dying and killing everything else with it, but I had a decent PSU and they told me that it was unlikely for it to happen, so pretty hopeful. I go to the nearest open shop and I buy a new power supply. I get home, I mount the bad boy up and turn the PC on. Everything seems to be working somewhat fine, but for some reason it doesn't detect my hard drives. That's not the best news. So I open the PC up, unplug and plug it back everything in, the usual turn it off and on to make it work. And after I turn the PC on again, it goes to the BIOS directly. It doesn't boot Windows up. Alright, it's a little bit weird. And I find out that for some reason, the BIOS isn't detecting the SATAs and the SSD. Not the best news. So I text one of the technician up. He's an IRL friend of my brother, so it's like, yeah, sure, I mean, come to my house. I'll fix it for you. So I get into this dude's house. I'm welcomed by his mom, who's building a shelf, and I help her a little bit, because why fucking not? And then we get to work on the computer. We try a couple of things, nothing seems to be working, and he tells me that the motherboard is dead. Alright, well shit, not the best news. It's, of course, it's a Friday, because every time something happens, it has to happen on Friday. So I order a new motherboard, hoping that it will arrive by Monday. 2 days pass, 3 days total, including Friday, with no computer. Absolutely tragic. 3 days of no computer in 2020. It's the highest form of abuse I can possibly imagine, honestly. During this time, I think I've watched 2 series. In 3 days, I've watched the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Pretty good, actually. Really recommend it. And Blood of Zeus, which is was alright, I guess. We arrived at Monday. Monday morning, I finally get the new motherboard. Everything seems to be alright. I'm not that expert when it comes to PC parts. I try to ask people that are more knowledgeable than me, and it usually works out. Tragically, when I get the motherboard, I mount it up, boot the PC, and nothing happens. It doesn't work. It doesn't boot up. Alright, tragic news. I bring the PC back to the shop. They tell me that apparently the motherboard that I bought sure has the right socket for my i7 7700K, but it's not compatible for whatever fucking reason. Alright, sure, I guess it's my bad for not looking too much into it. As I said, I'm not too much of an expert. Multiple people told me that the motherboard that I bought was fine. It's the, the right socket, but apparently it wasn't compatible with my 7700K. Alright, tragic. I wanted to go for an upgrade anyway, a PC upgrade. After looking into it and asking some friends, I decided to get a pretty fat motherboard. I got the Z490 Aorus Pro, some shit, I don't know, I paid way too much for it. And the i7 10700K, Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. I buy a new cooler as well. I wait for all of these to arrive. It takes, I think, 2 days, something like that. Everything is beautiful. I spent a fuckload of money, which it's not the best timing because I wanted to wait for the Ryzen 9 5900X for a proper upgrade, and I was saving up for it. But the situation asked for urgency, sadly. So I was kind of forced into not the best upgrade, I would say, but still an upgrade nonetheless. I mount everything up to be 100% sure that I was not gonna fuck it up, because I know myself and I knew I was gonna fuck it up. I do it in the shop together with the technician dudes. So we mount the PC up, we boot it, it goes to the BIOS, and for some reason, it does not find the SSD and the hard drives. Tragic, traumatic. It's exactly like the first motherboard. The technician looks at me with a desperate face, and that's where I know, like, when the IT nerd guy looks at you and he doesn't know what's happening, you know things are not going the way they're supposed to go. So he tells me that he thinks it's either the PSU not powering up the SSD and the SATAs, or the motherboard is faulty. And I think, oh my fucking god, please, is the third motherboard that we get. I'm not a motherboard printing factory. I can't just buy a new motherboard every day. We spent a couple of hours on it, and it tells me that he has to do other stuff. He has other appointments. So it tells me to just go there the next day, and he's gonna run some tests in the morning. And this was on Friday. Of course, obviously. So a whole week has passed with me not having a computer and just watching series and movies all day long, pretty much. The dude tells me to come back on Monday, and I'm like, sure, I mean, fuck it. I don't seem to have any option. I'm running out of money. So I leave the PC there and I go home with a sad face and no computer. To add even more to the tragedy, you know, to have some sort of an exercise, I like to go to work with my bike. So while going to work on a Friday night, one of the brakes of my bike fucking broke. Well, it just popped off, the fucking bike, and this was like during night. It was fucking pitch black. I couldn't see shit. One of the pieces completely flew off in the middle of the road. Couldn't get it back. Alright, fuck me more, daddy. No PC, my bike decides to fucking break. So what do? I think, well, I deserve to treat myself with a cappuccino from my local Mickey D. So I go there, I enter the Mickey D, I open my bag, and lo and behold, I can't find my wallet. Here comes the flashback of me leaving my wallet in the fucking shop. So I find myself with a broken bike, no wallet, and no computer in the middle of the night. Absolutely tragic. I was legitimately throwing porco dios everywhere. And I'm like, you know, fuck it. There's clearly something. I must have angered some god. So I do a weekend doing nothing, locked in my apartment, just watching movies. I've watched the entirety of Mr. Robot, all 4 seasons. Amazing show. So at least I got that. And here comes Monday. I go to the shop, the technician, I take my wallet, and the technician looked into the PC, and it doesn't really know what the fuck is wrong with it. It says that it thinks that the SSD is short-circuiting, is that how you say? I'm not sure. The motherboards, and fucking with the SATAs as well. So I'm like in an absolutely tragic situation. I'm absolutely devastated, physically and mentally at this point. At that point, it's about 10 days of no computer. I buy another motherboard. This is the 3rd motherboard that I buy in the span of 7 days. And I buy a new SSD. I go home, I plug everything in, it takes me an entire day, I boot it up, and it finally fucking works. Had some issues installing Windows, but was able to solve it. And when the PC booted up and everything was working fine, I was fucking, I'm not even gonna lie, I was ugly crying. It might sound sad, it might sound pathetic, but 11 days without being able to do what I love, to create content, to stream, to make videos, to play, even to just fucking game, because I'm a gamer. It was tragic, you guys. I really realized during these 10 days that I really do love making content. I felt super lonely not having the interaction of the people in the stream. It really motivated me. It really made me realize that I want to push content hard. I'm gonna take a month off of work on December to dedicate pretty much on creating content and streaming. So expect a lot of stuff coming in December. More streams, higher quality videos. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on, both in-game and content-wise. I am super motivated to complete my 2020 goals, which I was kind of giving up on video. I have only 3 left: Infinite Mana Potion, Archaeologist Map, and the Wind Horse gear. I want to do more. I think I can get my Duo Dead God, which, by the way, I'm getting hard fucked by. The day I came back, I did a stream announcing it, and I am at 205 stones in, and I still don't have it. I have failed a ridiculous amount. I think I'm about 20 billions in, and I still don't have Duo Fallen God, which is even more tragic. But to be fair, it was all worth it because of the ridiculous love and support that I received during that stream by the community, which I absolutely don't take for granted. And I'm gonna make up for it. I'm gonna make sure I give back and make it worth it for you guys. I know this is a super rambly video. I really wanted to upload one today. As you can probably tell, I kind of put this together at the last second because I simply didn't have time to. I hope it was an interesting listen for you anyway. And I just also wanted to let you know that I'm gonna be back making weekly content. I'm going to stream after the server go up, and tomorrow I have my weekly Dark Souls stream. So thank you so much for hopefully not giving up on me. I'm still alive, I'm back, stronger than ever. And yeah, see you around. But most importantly, kisses.